What's going on, YouTube? If you've been watching me for a while, you know I do a lot of no evidence, no sanity runs. And I like doing this kind of runs because it allows people to go ahead and pick up on different ghost abilities in different ghost tests they may not have known previously. And one of the great things about knowing these type of abilities from these ghosts is that even if you're doing a professional round, intermediate round, amateur round, or anything in between, you're still going to be able to identify the ghost way easier if you're able to identify that ability mid-hunt, even if you have all the evidence. So you may be able to go ahead and say to yourself, okay, I could get 3 evidences, but it hunted once already. I saw the ability. I'm going to be able to go ahead and leave this round and get out of here in way less time than getting all the evidence. So in this episode, what I want to do is, instead of showing you guys different sorts of abilities per ghost, I want to show you how to test for every single ghost in Phasmophobia and what those tests look like in order to go ahead and try to identify that ghost on a no evidence run or any run at all. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a no sanity, no evidence, and 1 second grace period. The 1 second grace period is going to allow me to talk to you guys a little bit more and not have to worry about getting killed by the ghost as much. And we're going to go ahead and go through every single ghost type, all 24 of them, and the tests you need to do to identify them in gameplay. Are you ready? Let's get into it. This is going to be a very raw, unedited version, so I'm just going to go through the gameplay like I normally would on a stream, and we're just going to show you everything that I would normally do. That way, maybe you can follow the method and the process on your own. When we're looking outside this multiplier here, we're doing a 10.12, so it's 0 sanity. We have normal high sanity drain because we don't have any sanity restoration at all. Sprinting is on, normal player speed. I have flashlights on so you guys can see what I'm looking at, and we have a lot of light on the map. Ghost speed is normal, high roaming frequency and room changing and everything like that. Low event frequency. Friendly ghost is obviously off because you don't make any money or XP at all. Grace period is 1 second to allow me to talk to you guys a little bit more. Evidence is 0. Setup time is 0. Weather could be whatever you want it to be. I have it on fog, but you don't have to choose that if you don't want to. Doors are going to start on high, so you can't rely on doors being open to determine where the ghost room is. Sanity monitor is off. Activity monitor is off. Fuse box is starting on, so we can test for Jinn the moment we enter the location. If you want to go ahead and pause the video and look at any of those multipliers so you can set it up for yourself in your game, feel free to do so. Now, let's go ahead and go and make our way over to Tanglewood. We're going to do it on Tanglewood, I think. We're going to do it on pretty much the easiest map in Phasmophobia to do no evidence runs on, because there's a lot of great looping spots and there's a lot of great areas to go ahead and set yourself up to be able to do ghost testing. So what I'm going to do to start off the round is I'm going to go ahead and grab a flashlight so you guys can see what I'm looking at. And being able to have more visibility is always a good thing in general, because you're going to be looking at things like ghost blinking patterns to be able to identify like Oni and Phantom. So you want to be able to see the ghost as well as possible. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a salt container because I'm going to want to do a wraith test. And I'm going to grab a smudge stick and a lighter. This is my first loadout that I'm going to go in with. But I'm going to grab other things as well. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this at the front door. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab more stuff. One of the things I want to grab is I want to grab a crucifix because we're playing on a very low grace period. So I want to make sure the ghost is not going to hunt on top of me at any time so I don't get killed needlessly. We're going to grab a photo camera because more photos means more XP and more money in general from the round. And then we're probably also going to grab a secondary smudge stick too. That way if we do a smudge timer, we don't have to worry about leaving the map to ruin our smudge timer to go get another one. So let's go ahead and throw this in the front door because we're going to need it soon, but not right this second. If you don't open the door, the timer to start the round will not begin and the ghost will not start spawning or moving. So I never touch the front door until I'm ready to run in. So here we go. Smudge stick, lighter, salt, flashlight. The first thing I want to do when I'm going into Tanglewood is to get to a very safe and loopable spot. The safest loopable spot in Tanglewood is probably the vehicle. So we're going to make a mad dash for the car before this thing hunts on 0 sanity. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start turning on some lights. And I'm going to make my way over to the garage. The moment I get to the garage here, I'm going to turn on all the lights so we can see everything. The ghost goes ahead and pursues us. And we're going to drop down 3 piles of salt right there. There's 3 piles of salt in the tier 3 salt. All 3 of them are going in the doorway. This is the test for wraith. If the ghost walks through the salt and does not leave a disturbed salt imprint, it's going to not be a wraith. So we're going to go ahead and do that first. Now we're going to sit here and wait for the ghost to hunt. And hopefully it does not hunt in the room with me, because that would be bad. Now, there's always a little bit of a story to tell here that the ghost isn't hunting right now. And one thing I can tell you right off the bat is that the ghost is definitely here because it walked in that salt. Now, it could be a shade, and it's not hunting because I'm in the area with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way over to a different room. One, so the ghost doesn't spawn on top of me and kill me. And two, to see if it's going to spawn in there now. Because the shade will not hunt while you're in the room with it. It does not like people around. But we can go ahead in our journal right now and mark off Wraith as one of the ghosts that we could have. Because it stepped and saw. It's hunting. Sounds like it hunted from way towards one of the bedrooms as well. Master bedroom it came out of? It's coming at us. Let's look at the blinking patterns and the speed. So it definitely has line of sight speed. It's getting faster over time. Smudging it. I'm going to start a timer for 3 minutes on a smudge timer to see if we're going to have a spirit or a demon. The timer has been started now. Let's just talk about a little bit about what we just experienced there. So we know for sure that it's not a phantom, because a phantom is one of the easiest ghosts to determine in no evidence runs. When the phantom is hunting you, you can almost hardly ever see it because it disappears for 2 seconds at a time as it's pursuing you. That did not happen with that ghost there, so we're going to remove it. Also, we know for sure it's not an Oni. The Oni is very visible. It hardly ever blinks away, and if it does, it only blinks away for a split second. It comes right back into frame. That did not happen either, so it's not an Oni. So we could say this ghost has normal blinking patterns. One of the other things we know for sure is that this ghost has line of sight speed. It progressively gets faster the longer it sees you. Every second a ghost sees you, if it progressively gets faster, that's line of sight. So it's not a Fae, and it's not a Hantu, because the main ways to identify Fae and Hantu is to see if the ghost will not progressively get faster the longer it sees you. And that is not the case with this ghost. The Fae is a ghost that only has a determining speed boost depending on its age. If you're inside the Fae's room, it'll age it, it'll make it slower. The Hantu gets fast only inside of cold areas, and it does not get fast inside of warm areas, which that room definitely was. We were just looping the ghost in. Right now, it's been 1 minute and 25 seconds since we smudged the ghost. So at this point, all normal ghosts are going to start hunting at 1 minute and 30. A demon could hunt at 60 seconds, and a spirit after you cleanse a ghost will not hunt for a full 3 minutes. So you can tell if the ghost hunts after 3 minutes after you cleanse it, it's a spirit. If it hunts less than 1 minute and 30, it is going to be a demon. Ooh, look at this. This ghost has turned on the car right next to us. And it bit a crucifix as well. Okay. The power's off too? Okay, there's a lot happening here. Let's go ahead and start getting some photos. Let's get this smudge stick. I got the key to turn off the car. So right there, it went ahead and it turned on the car next to me, and then it bit the crucifix in the room next to me. So this could be maybe a Banshee roaming towards me. It could be a twin doing several different interactions in numerous areas of that map. Also, we're going to go ahead and get rid of the Djinn, because the Djinn can never, ever turn off the breaker, just like this ghost has. The only time the Djinn's ever going to turn off the breaker is if you have too many lights on, and the Djinn turns on a light, and it accidentally overloads the breaker, and then it turns it off by mistake. It'll never do it purposely. The ghost is hunting in about 2 minutes. Well, it hunted, it bit the crucifix before, so it actually hunted around 1 minute and 30, so it's not a spirit. Did not wait 3 full minutes to hunt. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lose this ghost. And I'm getting in range just enough to get electronic disturbance to see if the ghosts are going to know where I am. But unfortunately, that test did not work because the ghost stopped hunting. The test I was going for there was going to be the yokai test. A yokai cannot hear your electronics if you're 2.5 meters or more away from the ghost. So if you're able to get away from the ghost and then use electronics like your walkie-talkie or your flashlight or anything that's electronic inside of your equipment arsenal, it won't be able to hear you from 2.5 meters plus away. So usually if it's in the next room over, it won't be able to hear you. I did collect the bone there, just for the heck of it. I saw it, and I turned the power back on. Okay, we're going to turn off our smudge timer. It's not going to help us right now. There's always a possibility it could still be a demon that's just being very, very lazy and doesn't want to hunt in the 60 seconds after I smudge it. And that's just because demons are kind of unpredictable in that way, shape, or form. So we're going to go ahead and leave demon on right now. But one thing we're going to go ahead and get rid of for sure is we're going to get rid of Moroi, because it's not a fast ghost. We have 0 sanity. Moroi gets faster the lower sanity you have. so we can get rid of Moroi. It's not a Deogen. The Deogen always knows where you are no matter what. The moment the hunt starts, it's going to rush to your location and start trying to kill you. And then when it gets to your location, it's going to start slowing down because it slows down when it's in proximity of you. Okay. All right. So nothing there. I think the ghost is still spawning from the master bedroom. So we may try navigating over there. Maybe putting a crucifix inside the room to see if it's going to bite it. Because I want to know if this is the actual ghost room. And based on the fact that it just rang the phone in here, I think it probably is. And the reason I want to know if that's the ghost room is because I want to be able to be in there to test for shade and put some lanterns in there to test for Onryo. Because Onryo will not hunt next to lit flames. Let's go back to the van and grab ourselves 1 or 2 candles. So the Onryo cannot hunt within 4 meters of a lit flame. If it does, it has to prioritize blowing out the candle before it hunts. So it won't even be able to bite a crucifix if there's a candle nearby. The shade just won't hunt with me inside the room. So what we're doing in here right now is we're testing both at the same time. All right, right then and there. We know for sure that it's not an Onryo and it's not a shade. It hunted literally with me in the room when I was holding the crucifix. I burnt my hand there. And it hunted in the presence of these 2 lit flames. So it's not Onryo and it's not shade. Oh, hi. Hello there. Getting real close to personal, I see, Ghosty. Gonna turn that light on in there. Mares don't like light bulbs. They don't like lights that are on. So we're gonna turn those lights on to see if the mare is gonna become less active or try to turn off the breaker as a result. Or maybe even change rooms to get away from the lit area. Hunted in the room with the lights on. Doesn't necessarily mean it's not a mare, but it's a good chance. Ghost is coming. We don't need to go ahead and try to loop it or anything right now, so I'm just going to lose it. One of the things I could be testing for right now is Poltergeist to see how much stuff it's throwing. But I don't think it's a Polter. A Poltergeist has to throw something every half of a second if there's something for it to throw. And it's throwing a good amount of stuff. I don't know if it's enough. We can always check. We can always check. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do this for Poltergeist since I brought it up. I'm going to go ahead and pile as many things as possible on top of this countertop here. That way, when I loop it around the countertop, we're going to see how much it throws off in a short amount of time. If it starts slinging numerous objects at once, or starts throwing something every half of a second, we know that we're dealing with a Poltergeist. It's already throwing stuff here. The ghost is actually here with me, which is kind of scary. I don't like that at all. It threw a plate off the countertop before it even started hunting. I hear it touching a door as well. You always want to have an ear open for, potential door touches or door slams because you may have a Yuri. The Yuri's ability is a door slamming ability, where it'll shut a door that's totally open to totally closed within a split second. Any ghost could do that interaction, but the Yuri's going to do it the most. And the Yuri's the only one that could do it to the front door. Here we go. Let's see. Nope. Not throwing anything. It threw 1 thing, 2 things. No, not nearly enough. It's not throwing something every half a second, maybe 1 thing per second at most. Maybe not even that. So we're going to go to our journal. We're going to say, what's in here with me? Excuse me, ghost. Excuse me. I don't want any part of this. I don't want what you're selling. All right, it should go away. We're going to say that it's not a Poltergeist. We're going to say for sure it's not a Revenant either. The Revenant is very, very slow when it doesn't know where the target is, and it speeds up very, very quickly when it does. That is not the case. This ghost is normal speed until it knows where I am, it seems. Also, I don't think it's a Raiju. The Raiju will speed up very quickly around electronics, and this thing only seems like it speeds up from line of sight, nothing else. It's not like super fast all of a sudden for no reason. So it progressively gets faster over time. It does not get fast for no reason or from some sort of a catalyst. Okay, what else do we have to test for here? Banshee is a possibility. Obaki shapeshift. Ooh. Oh, hello, ghost. What are you doing inside the couch there? One of the things with Obakes is another very easy ghost to identify. The Obake will typically change its ghost form on the 12th blink of a hunt. It'll, for real quick, 1 second, it'll change to a different ghost model, and then it'll change back to the original ghost model that it was at the beginning of the hunt. I have not seen any ghost model changes during hunts, so I'm going to say it's not an Obake. Mylings are very quiet ghosts. Again, the yokais can't detect electronics 2.5 meters away. The demons hunt very, very often, and they hunt 60 seconds after a smudge. Mares hate light bulbs, and to be honest, this thing's only broken the breaker once, so I think it would be very unlikely to be a mare at this point. Twins will do a lot of interactions in numerous areas of the map at the same time. 2 consecutive interactions, which we call twin interactions. I don't know. This just sounds like a normal speed ghost. And twins has to either be a little fast or a little slow. It can never be normal speed. Depending on which twin hunts is going to determine if it's going to be a little fast or a little slow. And since this ghost sounds normal speed, we can get rid of twins. The slow twin is very easy to identify. There's not many ghosts that are very quiet or very slow and have those slow footsteps, but the slow twin would be one of them. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that one. Goryo is a possibility here, and Goryo on a no evidence run is like one of the worst scenarios possible, because the only way to identify a Goryo is if it never ever changes its favorite room. So you don't know how long that's going to take. I mean, you could make that determination after 5 minutes of being on the round if you're feeling very, very confident. You could make that determination after 10 minutes of being on the round. You could make that determination after 20 minutes of being on the round. But how long do you really wait to be able to say, it's got to be a Goryo because it's not changing rooms? And that's a hard call to make, and there's no exact answer to that. There's no exact answer to that at all. It's your personal preference. We're going back in. I'm going to go ahead in there. I'm going to turn on some light bulbs, and I'm going to open all the doors for a Yuri door slam. That's what I'm going to do right now. So another crucifix going down in this room. Door open here, door open there. One of the best things that would happen is if the ghost were to turn on a light bulb by itself, I can rule out mare immediately, because mares cannot turn on light sources. They can't do it. So if that were to ever happen, I could immediately say to myself, we don't have a mare. But sadly, that is not happening here. We're not getting that lucky. I'm going to go take some photos of that crucifix burn. I can get there quickly, and I can get 1 interaction photo and 1 burn crucifix photo. Perfect. And I think it touched a door as well. It touched this door. This one's not totally open anymore, so I know it's been touched. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn on the light bulbs again, because when the I didn't turn that one on. The ghost did. Oh, it turned it off as well. To prove that I didn't turn that on, I'm going to go ahead and take an interaction photo. So there you go. That gets rid of the mare. That's really, really nice. And also, we just experienced the breath event there as well. That's when the mist ball forms. It comes towards the player, and when it hits the player, it makes a hiss sound or a he sound or anything similar. If that ever happens, you know for sure you don't have an Oni. We got a 3-star ghost photo. So the mist ball means it's not an Oni, which we already were able to determine based on the ghost blinking patterns. And we know we don't have a mare because it turned off the light, or turned on the light bulb. Sorry, it turned on the light bulb. I believe this is a real hunt. I'm gonna shut the door. One of the best things you could do to get rid of a ghost, even if you don't have a smudge stick, is turn off all your electronics and try to break line of sight. Because if you break line of sight a lot, it may not know where you went. You know what? I'm wondering if I have the audio bug right now. Let me see. Test, test, test. I do. I have the audio bug. So right now, you can see my hands up in the air. I don't have any. I'm not pushing any button. And it's thinking that I am pushing a button. This is the audio bug that's been happening since June or July of this year. So all you do to fix it is go ahead and hit your push to talk button in game. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Go back, and it stopped hearing me. So now again, the push to talk, I hit my V button, my push to talk button, and then it fixed it. That's all you have to do is go to hit your push to talk, your toggle button, it'll stop doing that bug. That is a bug that's been killing a lot of new players, and I hope they fix it soon. It's a big one. All right, let's go back to the drawing board here. So still no Yuri door slam. This ghost has touched a door nearby me. This could be a Banshee. It could be Banshee roaming towards me. And two ways to test for that is to go ahead and get a motion sensor or go ahead and get a parabolic microphone to check for Banshee scream. But I want to see where this is going to spawn. It spawned like right in the hallway that time. So either a door change or it's roaming towards me. We're not sure. Or room change, I said. I'm not sure if I said door change. Room change or it roams towards me. It's coming around that way. It's behind me. Should stop hunting here in a second, and it did. Great, great. Let's go ahead and drop our photo camera for right this second. I'm going to go back to the van. Actually, look at this. It turned off the breaker again. So we're back in the truck right now to get ourselves a parabolic microphone and to also get ourselves a motion sensor. This is going to be the test for Banshee to see if we have a ghost roaming towards us. And the reason I'm getting the motion sensor is because if the ghost is going to roam all the way towards me in a different side of the house, then I know for sure that it's doing a roaming ability, because it wouldn't leave its room that far to come and seek me out if it was any other ghost in the game outside of Phantom or Banshee, because Phantom have a roaming ability as well. Let's see here. Let's go inside this room. By the way, the Banshee roaming ability can only happen to its target if the target is on the same floor as it. So if the ghost is up here and it's a Banshee and I'm in the basement, it can't roam towards me. So right now what I'm looking for is to see if that motion sensor is going to tick off like the ghost has walked through it. Because there's no other reason it would want to be inside this garage right now. And I'm also listening for a Banshee scream at the same time. It's a unique parabolic response that has a 16% chance to happen. It did just trigger off the motion sensor. It did. That's very suspicious. So if the ghost room is still in the master bedroom like it has been this whole round, then there's a good chance the ghost is roaming towards me right now to try to do its ability. Yep, spawned right on top of me too. All right, what we're gonna do after this is we're gonna grab a thermometer and make sure that the ghost room is still the room we think it is, because we want to make sure that this ghost hasn't changed rooms to be next to me, because that would just be an odd coincidence and not a Banshee ability at all. Hopefully that makes sense. It's done. Let's make a dash for the door and go get that thermometer. And we got to get another smudge stick as well, just so we have a defensive item on us. You should always have a defensive item on you no matter what when you're doing these rounds. You never know when the ghost is going to spawn next to you, especially if you have low grace period and you don't have time to get away when it starts hunting. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves the thermometer. We're going to go into the master bedroom and check the temperatures in there first. And the temperature of the surrounding area as well. Hallway, 15. This bedroom, 4.7. That's still the room. So that means that the ghost went outside of its favorite room, wandered all the way through the living room, through the utility room, through the garage, and spawned right on top of me. The likelihood of that when it's not being a Banshee is almost impossible. And there it is again. It just went ahead and moved the motion sensor again. So it's trying to make its way over here. We're going to try to not let it do that. It turned off the breaker again as well. And it's going through the motion sensor again to try to come over this way. So I'm going to go this way instead. We may even just get outside the house right this second and try to collect ourselves. Okay. What is left on this whole docket here? So we think we have a Banshee. Has it changed rooms yet? No, it has not. If it ever changed rooms, we could say immediately it's not a Goryo. So if the cold temperatures go from that master bedroom to the living room, it can't be a Goryo. I'll immediately eliminate it out. That hasn't happened yet, but I think it will at some point. We know it's not a mimic because it's not changing its ghost ability. It's not suddenly getting fast, and then one hunt getting normal speed, and then one hunt having unique sort of blinking patterns, one hunt throwing a lot of stuff. So I don't think it's mimic. One thing we could do to go ahead and test for mimic is go ahead and bring a video camera in and see if we see orbs inside of the ghost room. If we see orbs in the ghost room, you have a mimic, because it's the only type of evidence you're ever going to get on a no evidence run, because the mimic orbs are not evidence. They are the ghost's abilities. I really hope this doesn't spawn on top of me when I go ahead and do this, because that would be so tragic. What a bad way to end this round. Okay. Ooh, it's coming. It's inside that room again. I'm going to see if I can duck behind this changing table. Making sure it doesn't hear my audio, and it doesn't. That's good. By the way, the ghost cannot detect a lit lighter. It can only detect electronics, so don't worry about that. Sounds like it's coming over here. Oh, it's not. It's going to a different room. And it's done. Let's go make a quick look to see if we have any ghost orbs inside of any of that area. So the main bedroom, the bathroom, and the closet. There's no orbs. There's no orbs. Okay. Light that lantern for a little bit of light, because why not? Make my way out the door again. So we're able to go ahead and check off the possibility of the mimic, because there's no mimic orbs. Yuri would have a door slam. This ghost has never, ever, ever slammed a door that I can see. Every door that I've opened inside that room is not fully shut. They're all just a little tilted, which means none of the Yuri abilities have been happening. So we're getting rid of the Yuri ability as well. Yuri is out of here. Is it the demon? This ghost has gone through a lot of spans of time where it hasn't hunted in like 20 seconds, or even after I smudged it 60 seconds or less than a minute and 30. So for that reason, the ghost is not aggressive enough to be a demon. If you notice the ghost is hunting over and over and over again, almost like it's on cooldown, on command, you probably have a demon. You should do a smudge test. And again, the way that smudge test works is smudge the ghost, start a timer, see if it hunts in less than a minute and 30 after the cleanse stops. Yokai, this ghost does not seem to be unaware of where I am with electronics on. I mean, heck, the ghost was able to hear my audio with the audio glitch, and it knew exactly where I was without issue. So it's able to hear my voice totally fine, even from 2.5 meters away. No yokai. Is it a Myling? More than likely not. It's not a very quiet ghost. The Myling footsteps are very peculiar. You won't be able to hear them from 1 or 2 rooms away from you. You're only going to be able to start hearing them when it's like right next to your room. I can show you how that works exactly. Let's get our flashlight. I'll do a quick Myling test. So the way this is going to work, I'll explain it outside here, so when I'm inside, I don't have to explain it when I'm in danger. We're going to throw our flashlight down on the floor. When the flashlight's on the floor and the hunt starts, eventually the flashlight will start blinking like this, because that is what happens when the ghost starts hunting and it gets close. It gives you electronic disturbance. If the ghost is close enough to make our flashlight blink and we still don't hear the footsteps of the ghost, that means it's a Myling, because it's close enough to you to give you that electronic disturbance. It's in the vicinity of you, but you can't hear those footsteps because it has quiet footsteps. That's the Myling test. Let's go ahead and do this real quick. Ghost, please don't hunt on top of me. I'm smudging because I don't trust this damn thing. Okay. You can see, I can hear those footsteps well before that flashlight blinks. Still hear them. I can tell it's somewhere in the hallway on the left side of me, but the flashlight is not blinking, so it's not very close to me, and I can still hear it very well. Okay, Myling is gone. At this point, you can go ahead and try to take some additional photos if you wanted to try to get yourself a perfect game. I'll go ahead and take 3 photos of the assault real quick since we just have an opportunity to do so. It's right here. Let's try heading for the door. What are we looking like in the photos? We're 1 photo short, and I did pick up the bone at one point as well, and we need to get an EMF reading objective. I'm not going to worry. You know what? Let's go for it. Let's risk it for the biscuit. Let's go for the perfect game. Why not? For the content. For the content. If I die right now, I'm going to feel like an absolute... I'm going to feel so dumb. Throw that in there. Can I have my flashlight, please? I want to keep moving. That way, if the ghost is roaming towards me, I'm not going to give it an opportunity to really stop. Or to be on top of me. I think I have a pretty good idea of how to get that last photo. I think I'm going to light the lantern inside the room. And when it blows out the lantern, I'm going to get a photo of the lantern blowout. And I'm going to get the EMF from it blowing out the lantern too. It's going down to the basement right now. You can tell it's going down to the basement because the footsteps sound like they're kind of muffled. It's done. Make a rush for that room. Light the lantern. I'm going to light both of them. Better the odds. There we go. We got a door touch. I'll take that instead. Which door did you touch? You touched this one? Got it. Last photo. Got it. So we should have a perfect game here. So Banshee is locked in now. Again, the ghost never changed the ghost room. Can we explain that as it being a Goryo? One of the reasons I can rule out Goryo instead of Banshee right now is because we know the Banshee roamed towards me all the way in the garage. The Goryo doesn't have the ability to go ahead and roam that far away from its original ghost room. It can roam like in the next room over, but it can't go several rooms over to try to get to its target. That's just not Goryo-like. For that reason, we've tested against it. Let's go ahead and lock Banshee and get out of here. And there you have it. A perfect investigation bonus, $230 added to our payout, 4,249 XP on that round of Tanglewood. For a small map, that's not that bad of a payout. I hope you found this beneficial. I really do think that knowing the ghost abilities, although it's not a skill that new players need to know right off the bat, it's a good skill to know eventually, because like I said at the beginning of the video, if you're doing a round where you do have evidence, if the ghost hunts and you're able to identify that ability it's using, you're going to be able to get out of there so much quicker, and you're not going to have to sit around and wait for evidence to happen. So even if you're doing no evidence runs, and you're looking to go ahead and grind XP and money, that's going to be beneficial for you to do that too. This is going to give you an opportunity to level up quicker, to do those higher difficulties as well. So make sure you give me some feedback down in the comments if you'd like to. Subscribe and follow for more if you like this kind of content. I was going to be making more Phasmophobia content in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and stay crispy.